Welcome everybody to Dicing with Death and our new intro. How was that? Huh? That's pretty good. Ryan, oh, you're still watching. Ryan,
Oh,
how's life?
damn it, I'm ruined. I'm watching it live. Shh, give me another 20 seconds. Ooh. Splat. Okay. Sorry. I had to watch it live with the people.
With the people.
All right, I'm good. I'm
You good?
good.
Last night was your birthday, or yesterday was your birthday, something like that.
Yeah, just last night. My birthday is only 3 hours long.
3 hours long. That's it. Just seven
Yes.
to 10 in the evening.
Yeah, it was good.
Cool. Cool. Anything you want to tell us about your birthday or about your life in the past few days last few weeks since we played last?
No interesting revelations. No onset of quarter life crisis or any of
That's
those
right.
wonderful things you should expect.
Big 2-5, quarter decade.
I know. I look much older. Years have
So
not
much.
been
Well,
kind.
it's the bathrobe.
It's the
Makes you
bathrobe.
look like, yeah.
Like a
Now you
sleazy
just
old
need a
man.
pipe. It'll be good.
That's off camera.
Yeah, well.
Just-
So, where did we leave off with Dicing with Death?
yeah, it's been a few weeks. As usual, we're woefully inconsistent.
But we're
Um,
still the best D&D show on Twitch.
something like that. Are you in roll 20?
I am in roll 20. I'm always in roll 20.
We
I
have
live in roll 20.
we have that little map if you want to show everybody. I've added some things because I'm terrible and yeah.
Are we talking about the Seagate
Yeah, that's
bridge?
like your
Okay.
little map that you purchased from that cartographer.
Yeah, you
And
added a
yeah,
lake.
and somehow it's changed since you first bought it.
There's a lake and a compass.
there's there's a lake and a compass. And I even drew it on a little piece of paper. The
Nice.
the production value of the show is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's actually getting better.
Now I just need to step up my graphics to match the intro.
Mhm.
So last week, Qualneer the Cunning played 2 weeks ago. Qualneer the Cunning played around in Ashenholt. You wound up murdering one of my NPCs as usual, Lord Lucius of Ashenholt.
I didn't mean to
snuck
murder.
it.
I
You
didn't.
didn't
mean to murder. It was an accident.
Just meant to rob him blind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately for you, you snuck into his bedchambers and found him while he was not wearing plate mail. Did
Thank
battle
God.
with him. I think you poisoned him, but it didn't wind up actually mattering.
No.
You
I
actually
didn't
just-
poison him.
You just. I thought you poisoned. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Either way, you stabbed him to death before any poison could have set in.
Yeah.
Stole his famed dagger bloodletter.
Which is sweet, by the way.
Yep. Some sort of vampiric properties. Explore that more as Qualneer ruthlessly murders more of my NPCs.
Well, that's how the game goes, my friend.
Yep. And I think that was the big highlight. You fled Ashenholt. You convinced Michelle, the courtesan, to accompany you out of town.
I like
And
to
you
think
have-
of her as a companion.
Companion, sure. I don't know if that's the term in this world, but something like that. High
Maybe in the
quality,
future.
high quality prostitute.
Yes.
You hired a cart. What do you call it? Carriage. I
Yes.
think I named your chauffeur Bates or something
Bates.
equally stereotypical. I can't remember.
All right.
And you have headed north out of town. Anything else I'm forgetting?
We are headed to Seagate, although we did not tell anyone else that we were headed there. Only the chauffeur.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. I guess we will carry on then. So you are traveling north along the road. It sort of curves a little bit. You are in the back of this covered carriage. Sort of nice. I think you're paying like a gold a day for it, so it's nice accommodations. It's a little overcast. The road sort of rolls through these moors, hills, green all around. The river sort of follows the road for a bit. There are a few other travelers on the road,
Mm-hmm.
mostly actually heading in the same direction you are.
Okay.
Is there any sort of interactions you'd like to have, or just
No, I'd like.
leave them
I'm gonna
be
try and lay low for a little while. Use the.
as low as you can in a fancy carriage?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't want to be stealing or robbing or murdering people on my way to Seagate. I kind of want Ashenholt to have had this problem and then just disappear and show up in Seagate. So I actually try to avoid anyone on the road and avoid being seen on the road. Like we'll ride in the carriage with the curtains drawn
Hmm.
most of the way. If there's no one around, we'll open them and look out. But the rest of the time, like if we're passing through a town or there seems to be people approaching, we'll draw the curtains. Um,
Okay.
I do want to avoid notice.
Okay. Um, like I said, there's a bit of traffic heading north, so it's sort of hard to not be traveling with people, considering you're all sort of going roughly the same pace.
Of course.
That makes sense. So there's people on the road, but you don't really draw any special attention. And the first day goes reasonably uneventful. If I recall, I can't remember exactly the interaction we had, but I feel like you gave Michelle that, or lent Michelle that pearl necklace, which she is now wearing.
Hmm.
And I feel like there was some, I don't know, unsatisfactory exchange. You pissed off.
Yeah,
I can't
she
remember
was trying to
exactly.
say that it was hers, and I was like, no, 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 this is being lent to you. And she's like, well, it's
Yeah,
mine now, and I
you were
got
being kind of
scary.
snarky.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes, that's what it was. So you don't really get much conversation out of her this first day's travels.
that's
Um,
fine.
while normally she would be a wealth of information. Right now,
Well,
not
yeah,
so.
the first day she's a little grumpy. That's to be expected. Okay, I hit level
And
4. I don't get
I
new
don't.
backstabs at level 4, right? That goes up.
Did you hit level 4? I
I
thought
did
you
hit
were
level 4.
still. You hit level 4 like a
No,
couple
because
of.
I'm at 5,205 experience, and I need 10,000 to get to the next level. So I must have just leveled up.
Okay. Okay. I did. We take care of all of that?
Yeah, we took care of all that. Yeah, because I have 14 HP, right? What's the average? 14 divided by 3.5 is 4. Yeah, I have exactly average HP.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay. So you did add. I think you did improve all of your thieves' abilities last
yeah, I
time.
think I gave 15 to open locks and 15 to move silently.
Yeah.
You know what happened? That's kind of cool.
What's that?
I now have a printer, so I can actually print out character
Character
sheets and
sheets.
then,
Oh
like,
wow.
write with
That's how
pen
we
and
used to
paper.
do it. Remember?
The good old days.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have like a computer reference available.
We
We
wouldn't have
would,
a
it would
computer
just,
on at all.
we would like run into the room before the session, print out all the character sheets, and fill them in by hand.
Mm-hmm. Back in the olden days.
Yep. And you'd periodically have to print new ones because you'd like erase the HP so many times. It was just a smudged up mess.
And then you'd actually break through the paper. Yeah. And have like holes in the paper from writing and erasing so much.
Mm. And we'd use little like tokens and even like marbles and
Oh, I have a
shit instead of
yeah.
this fancy drawing pad. Kids these days don't know how good they have it.
But it's true. They don't know how good they have it. I'm not just a curmudgeon old man.
All right. So that first day is roughly uneventful. No one really bothers you along the road. Bates exchanges a few pleasantries with other travelers
Hmm.
because you didn't instruct him otherwise, and
Yeah, that's fine. He can.
yeah. I mean, he's not a avid conversationalist, but I mean, he does say word. You don't really catch what he's saying, but
That's
so yeah.
fine.
And then around sundown, you reach a town, small, nameless farm town. There is at least one inn.
Okay.
You assume it's this next one on the map, but
Yeah,
can't be too sure.
I will, instruct our driver to take us there.
I mean, you're there. Do you wish to?
Oh yeah,
So
I
he sort
instruct
of
our
pulls up
driver
the-
to take us to the inn
Yeah,
and like.
the inn is one of the first buildings in the town proper. I mean, these are mostly well, farming hamlet sort of things, so it's sort of goes from countryside to more populated farming area to town center. And the first building in the town center is an inn, at which point Bates sort of pulls up in front of the inn and opens this little wooden panel between him and the inside of the carriage and sort of leans inside. Master?
Yes.
He sort of looks expectantly.
Are you going to open the door for us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he gets off of the carriage and circles around and opens the door. Michelle steps up first. He helps her down. She immediately walks to the tavern and leaves her bags, presumably for Bates. He offers a hand to help you down.
I take it and head out.
Okay. You take all of your stuff, I assume?
All my stuff.
Okay, your traveling backpack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I decided against it.
Okay. So it's actually a pretty bustling little tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's probably at least a couple dozen people. It's pretty crowded. There's hardly an open seat. By the time you step inside, Michelle has already managed to worm her way a seat at the end of the bar. You notice there is not a empty seat next to her.
I will go stand next to her.
Okay.
Who's the is she at the very end, or is there someone on either side of her?
She's at the very end, the far end of the room.
Who is the person sitting directly next to her at the bar?
I'm a middle-aged man, about average height, sturdy build. By the look of the dirt on his clothes and his hands, you expect he's some kind of laborer. He is drinking a beer and trying very hard not to look at Michelle.
All right. I will come and stand between him and her and put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Good sir, I hope you would be willing to give up your seat so I may sit next to my wife. I would be happy to buy you a few rounds if you would give it up."
Out of your periphery, you'd catch her eyes narrow. Thank you.
Did you just get food? What?
I did, but I'm going to be courteous and try not to eat it too much on stream. Unlike Neil, who shamelessly chomps into his microphone.
That was one time. One time I was eating chips on stream, and it was a bad idea. Okay? One time I ate chips on stream.
So you ask him to get up.
Yeah, I offer to buy him a couple of drinks.
Okay, so Michelle's eyes narrow when you mention wife. He looks a little bit like, who the hell is this elf? And then you mention buying drinks, and he sort of slowly gets up and looks expectantly.
"Thank you, good sir." And I turn flag down the bartender and say, and I slide 2 silver across the table and say, "These are for whatever he wants."
Okay. He sort of scoots over and stands behind the group of farmers he was with.
Excellent.
And they get a round of drinks amongst them.
Perfect.
Subtract that from your character sheet, although I know I don't need to tell you.
That's right. I'm good with this. 9 copper.
All right. So things are bustling. There's a lot of conversation. Around this time, you even hear the twang of a musician tuning up his lute in the back corner.
Nice.
Why don't you roll me a perception check? See how much you pick up.
RT20 plus 9. 19. Not good enough.
No, yeah. That's fine. I'll let you know if you catch anything else, or you can feel free to ask me questions. But your stool is open. The barkeep seems busy, but you can... I mean, if you wanted, you got a beer in that round.
Yeah. I will order drinks with Michelle and chat for a moment, and I will turn to her and kind of whisper towards her.
Okay, yeah. She is now turning to face the room and is sort of sprawled out in the corner of the bar, surveying the scene.
Yeah, I'll say, I
You're not
hope you
feeling. You're a
understand our
little.
need for secrecy and cover here, my dear.
Why are you a wanted man?
Some might think so, but you know that already. And it might be a little bit late, but traveling with me, you might get in some trouble as well. So it is best if we assume cover of a traveling couple. Believe me, I will take no liberties.
You already have, Sir Qualneer.
I've paid for every liberty I've taken.
She smiles. A girl like me is used to trouble and knows
Excellent.
how to handle herself accordingly.
I am most pleased, but to be honest, that's exactly what I was expecting. Would have been disappointed if you had said otherwise. I'm just writing down character stuff onto the actual sheet.
Okay.
I say to her, let's try to keep our heads low, at least until we get to Seagate. Would not be useful if people
Well,
could track us.
with your stature, keeping your head low should be easy enough.
Yes, but I'm worried about you. You do make an entrance, I say, smiling at her.
Smiles broadly. Yes, she is about 5'7", 5'9". She's wearing black leather boots that add a couple inches on top of that. With her statuesque physique, yes, she does tend to command the room.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just, have eat and drink my fill. I refrain from drinking to excess to make sure I keep myself very paced.
Okay.
And I'll get a room for us eventually.
A single room?
A single room, because we're working with this cover, and I will tell her when I get the room that I'm getting a single room. We can split the bed, and, I won't make any moves.
Yeah. She seems to be giving you the cold shoulder most of that evening. Taking in the room.
Human women.
She listens to the musician, the lutist. He's passable.
Okay.
She eventually moves a little closer, gives up that seat at the bar.
I keep my seat at the bar and keep my eyes on her and the bar in general, looking for trouble.
Looking for trouble? Oh, you mean keeping an eye out for trouble?
Keeping an eye out for trouble. I'm not seeking trouble. I am
You don't notice
trouble.
It's crowded. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Doesn't look like any soldiers or military men, but you do see a few more blades than you would necessarily expect.
Interesting. I will ask the bartender after a little while, why so many swords? Or armed men?
Now that you mention it, maybe there are a few more than you'd expect. Who knows? Perhaps trouble's brewing.
Any reason to suspect brewing trouble?
Not that I've heard, but it's been a busy night. Haven't really had time to catch up with the regulars.
All right. I shrug and continue doing my thing and keep a low profile. Watch, see where my girl's going and make sure no one bothers her or bothers us.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, she moved away from you and a little closer to the fiddler. She doesn't really do much talking actually with anyone. She's quite intimidating when she wants to be, so most of these country bumpkins sort of keep their distance. There are a few unsolicited remarks to which she usually has a quick and witty reply and shuts most of these advances down. The night starts to get late. You're getting a little tired. Musician's still going. Do you wish to go to bed earlier, or are you going to stay up?
I'm waiting. I go to the bed at the same time she does.
Okay.
So I will wait up for her to
roll a willpower check for me.
Willpower check. Why would you ask for a willpower check, Ryan? 17.
Yeah. I mean, you start to doze towards the end of the evening. Grows quite late, but eventually she goes to bed,
Okay.
and you follow. Um, she takes the bed. Oh,
I hop in, scoot over to kind of the edge away from her, and I ain't sleeping on no floor.
okay. She doesn't say anything, but scoots
Yeah,
to the other far edge and rolls away from you.
that's fine. I make no advances.
Yeah. Her lar yeah, her suitcase, and she's got one larger, like a chest.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, a footlocker,
A
something like that,
footlocker or
a large, yeah, like a large footlocker, and then a smaller bag, or a smaller chest on top of that, as well as a small, like, rucksack that she carries.
Okay.
And those had been brought up to the room at some point. So you notice them when you get up there. Yeah,
Cool.
small room, small bed, not particularly comfortable, but meh. Shell out. I'm just saying another silver for food and the room.
Okay. Another silver down.
You're not entirely sure where Bates sleeps that night, but you
He can
you
take care
half
of
suspect
himself.
he might be sleeping in the stables with the horses.
Well, good. That's what his status deserves. If he can't better himself in life, then he ought to sleep with the horses.
Right. So yeah, the following morning, you arise before Michelle,
Hmm.
and he head down.
Yeah, I just head down. I go about my normal business, trying to
Grab,
stay as ordinary as possible.
you grab breakfast before you
Hmm.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, nothing really eventful. Michelle eventually comes down. She's a little groggy, but appears to be in a better mood. Um, Bates pulls the carriage out front. Despite sleeping in unknown locations, he does look quite put together.
I
Little
I have
pressed seat.
something on my character sheet I want to ask you about.
Yeah,
I have something marked down as blood letter. What the hell is blood letter? Oh, that's the
that's the
weapon.
name of your dagger.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. I think that's everything that needs to be in pencil.
Ooh, you're actually using a printed character sheet now.
Printed character sheet. That's what I've been writing down. Is I've been transferring all the variable stuff from computer to character sheet, and I printed out some things in actual ink, but most of it is pencil.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So we hop back in the wagon and take off, but I want to ask Michelle, not Michelle. Yeah, Michelle some
What's her name?
things now.
Okay, yeah, yeah. She appears after breakfast. She appears to be in a bright mood.
Excellent.
The woes
I
of yesterday are behind you.
I pull out the strip of leather, the blue glass, and the letter from my lockbox.
Hmm. Do you
And
show them to her all at once? Do you even show them to her? Or are you
no,
just
I
like,
pull out the box. I pull out all the stuff at once and say, "What do you make of these?"
she sort of perks up and starts rifling through them. She picks up the strip of leather first, before reading the letter or anything. And
Mm.
says, "Where did you get this?"
From a friend, and someone took one from me. I don't know what they're for. Can you explain?
Well, I don't know about these. She says, points to the letter in the little looking glass, and
Hmm.
she reads through the letter.
Okay.
Hmm. This is called a favor, as is indicated here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're issued by the Goldsmiths Union,
Hmm.
and it does pretty much what it sounds like.
You can call in a favor
And
with one.
yes, and for anyone who recognizes their influence, it's better than money in many cases.
Very good to know.
What exactly did you exchange one of these for? I hope it wasn't anything, or I hope it was something worthwhile.
It was. It
He
really, really
shrugs.
was.
As for this letter, um, let me actually pull it up so I know what to say. Um, I'm not really sure what's they're talking about. I have heard of the Sturge. She points to the name signed at the bottom.
I read the letter again. Can you read it back to me?
Yeah. Do you not have it? Why don't I? I'll send you a copy. There's probably a cool way to make them to put this in Roll20, isn't there?
Yes, there is a handouts section that you can do.
Okay. Where is that? Tokens, characters. Have you done this before? Do you know where I'm
I
putting
don't
it?
remember how to do it, but I have done it. There's the icon that looks
Is
like
it
a
under
newspaper.
journal? Handouts. I've never
Handouts.
actually been able. Okay. What? Mysterious note. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to be called. Okay. In player's journal. Qualneer. Save changes. Show to players.
Oh, hold on. Mysterious note has appeared.
That's actually the default for adding a handout. Can you read that?
Currently, there's nothing in there. It's blank.
Really?
Perhaps a save button.
Oh, I tried to. Oh, you might be right. Drag and drop. Upload. Save changes. Did that work?
Let me refresh
No.
Roll20. I remember
I
having
don't. I'm not seeing
difficulties
it.
getting this
Put
working.
What's that? What'd you say?
I remember having difficulties getting this working for roleplay. No, it's still not working.
Like I drag and drop the file, and then it does this little loading bar, and it doesn't actually load anything. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Well, you can just copy paste it to me in Skype instead.
Well, hold on a sec. It looks like there's a place where I can put a description at least. And I can just copy and paste the
Okay.
note text to the description. Yeah, it looks like I tried to use the handouts before and totally didn't get them working. There's like a picture of one of the NPC's weapons from Solomon's campaign that never actually got sorted out. All right, see if you can at least read that.
Yes!
Okay.
Captain Harrison Wuthran. Wayward Goal.
To see quote. Does that
Ooh,
What?
yep, that's been indented now.
That's not what I wanted. The little quote thing made it look like it'd make it italic. I want it to be fancy, like a handwritten note.
Oh.
I don't think there's a way. I can make it italic.
Oh, there you go.
How does that look?
That's
Fancy?
fancy. It's super fancy.
Okay. Um. Yes. So yeah. So she said she had heard of Sturge, and everyone knows the Red Duke.
Tell me, who is the Red Duke, and who is Sturge?
No one really knows who the Red Duke is, other than a powerful man who pulls strings behind the scenes. Some say he is associated with the Union. Others that he is in fact the Lord of Seagate or the late Lord of Ashenholt. No one really knows.
I smile at late Lord.
Sturge is a powerful member of the Union, a roguish character, and apparently associated with the Red Duke.
Interesting.
And she sort of stops. I do not know who this captain is.
Well,
I would guess the Wayward Gull is the name of his ship.
I would expect that, so... Still owe 3 casters. What do you make of that?
Doesn't mean anything to me. Casters. Like,
I can only think of spellcasters as in magic users, but...
that's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
Oh?
if you do not know, that
She
is
starts-
fine. I fold up the letter, and I hand her the blue glass and say, what do you make of this, though? I have not been able to figure this out.
Hmm. She inspects it. Flips it around, looks through it. She says, curious, it is not a lens of any sort.
Mm-mm.
As in, it does not alter the vision aside from making it blue. It's quite pretty. Give me just a second. Okay. Oh, you lucky duck.
Uh-oh.
Um, so she's looking through it and sort of quizzically, and then, aha! She looks, yeah, has like an aha moment. She says, whoops.
Yes.
I think these were I've heard a story of these, she says.
Tell me the story.
Legend has it a great archmage, Antiphe.
How do you spell that?
Antiphe.
Anth.
You don't. She speaks it. So she doesn't spell it out. You can add it to your character sheet along with the other horribly misspelled. I think you actually have her name on your character sheet as Michael.
Do I?
Michael.
Whoops. Michael, Michelle, they're all the same thing.
Crafted lenses such as these for his men at arms. He was frustrated that they did not have the acute magical senses that he did, so he gave it to them to help in the identification of magical items and auras.
I pull out Bloodletter, and I hold the glass to my eye, kind of like a monocle, and look at Bloodletter.
Nothing immediately happens. Can you sort of describe your thought process throughout this?
Well, I pull out the glass, put it to my eye, look at bloodletter, and I'm looking for visual changes. I'm kind of thinking like, what is going on here? Is this thing magical? I know that this dagger is magical, and how could I tell if it's magical? That's kind of my thought process is focusing on like.
She sort of curiously looks at you and sort of smirks. You have to activate the. And she's sort of gesturing at the lens.
How? I think activate lens.
Concentrate on it. Yeah.
Okay. I
so
focus
she gives
on
you
the
other
lens
unhelpful suggestions, and eventually you get the feeling of
Okay.
it. I mean, you just hold it to your eye, and one of these thoughts of activate, damn you. And eventually you see and a faint glowing aura surrounds Bloodletter.
I start perusing
Give
all
me
of
a
my
second
stuff.
to. What's that?
I start perusing my stuff, and then I also do like an up and down on Michelle,
Yeah.
including the necklace she's wearing, which is mine.
Yeah. Just a second. You probably get more information. Is
Okay.
um. Actually, is there? I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I have to look this up every time every time we deal with it. Like the different magical auras and like strong versus yada yada. I thought there was like okay, wait, here we go. I'm not seeing in the PHB the definitions of faint, moderate, strong. So you are somehow intuitively, from looking at the aura surrounding Bloodletter, to get that it. Let's say for now that it's a strong magical aura with both enchantment and necromantic magics. You sort of scan around. Nothing that Michelle has is magical. I don't think anything else that you have is. Do I have
Wait,
a
what did
recent
you say
copy
that
of-
Michelle had that was magical?
I said nothing that she
Okay,
had is
nothing.
magical. The necklace is not magical. The pearl necklace isn't magical.
Right.
Did you have anything you were expecting to be? I don't know the
let's
sheet
look
I
at my
have.
equipment.
You want to send me a recent copy of Qualneer?
Sure. I mean, it's just the. Well, yeah, I'll just send you the full character sheet. There you go.
And you don't. I mean, you said you scanned the walls of the.
Yeah, I mean, I look around the cabin the carriage I'm in, and
Yeah,
look
you're
at
not seeing
Michelle.
any other auras.
Okay,
Bates isn't radiating
okay.
strong negative material planar energy or anything like that.
I take the glass and the letter and the strip of leather, and I put them back in the box.
Yeah.
Which then goes back into my bag. And I turn to Michelle, and I say, "So, we are headed to Seagate, which hopefully will be a very profitable location for us. Do you have any?"
That Bloodletter on here has blood space.
Yes.
Is It would be like one word, like bloodlet.
Yeah.
I guess it would still be Letter. Yeah, nothing else radiates magical energy. You can't quite figure out how to use the lens to look at itself.
I find a mirror
That'd be clever.
or
You
a
don't,
still
I mean,
pond.
you don't actually have one of those immediately available,
That's
but
fine. I know the thing is magical. I do not need to see it for itself.
yeah.
So I asked Michelle, what do you have any targets or marks for us in Seagate?
Arts.
Any wealthy men or women or enterprises that could stand to lose a few coins?
I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Seagate, she says, but rich, powerful men is sort of my specialty.
I know.
I'm sure I can find you someone to ruthlessly murder in cold blood.
No, my dear. I prefer not to ruthlessly murder in cold blood. That is a
Yeah, but
last
you
resort.
seem to have quite the talent for it.
Mistakes were made. Hopefully, in the future, we can do this more quietly. I'm still refining my art.
Quiet. That's no fun.
Well, not everything needs to be quiet.
Okay.
I swear to God, this show is just going to turn into you and I flirting with each other.
Yep. Quit seducing my NPCs.
Nope. Gonna seduce them
Even
forever. It's gonna be great. We're gonna discover something about our friendship we never knew.
Alrighty. Yeah, so nothing particularly eventful. Like I said, there's still travelers on the road. This day, you do hear a few horses ride past you.
Quickly, or like thundering, or just kind of.
Yeah, quickly. I don't know.
I
I
kind
don't know
of
if I would describe them as thundering, but
I draw the blinds open and look out.
you sort of stick your head out the carriage and see a single rider galloping away quickly.
I look
no ob-
for any particular colors or sigils or markings on his clothing or his horse's clothing.
This one appears to be unmarked. In fact, yeah, distinctly so.
Okay.
You're the suspicious part of you wants to think, what sort of rider would be wearing totally, gray clothes.
Yes. Interesting.
You don't know. There are other travelers on the road. Yep, the road at this point sort of travels along this river in the direction. So the river flows north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little later, you hear the pounding of more horses.
Mm-hmm.
You look out, I assume.
Yeah, if they're coming from behind us, I will peer out.
Yeah, from behind. This time it's a pair of riders, also moving at a brisk pace. These have a red open palm. Sorry, was it gray? Shit.
An open palm, like
Yeah.
the Lord of Ashenholt did.
Yes, you do recall that that's the sigil of the Lord Ashenhold.
Okay. That's fine. I do nothing about it. Let me know when we get to something else.
Yeah. So, about midday, this lock comes into view on the western side of the road, and you're traveling along it for a bit. Yeah. I'd say you get to there-ish where the river crosses the path. There's a small stone bridge, stone arch bridge that goes over. and you, yeah, go over the bridge,
Yep.
continue along the path.
Yep.
About a half hour later, you hear a thump, and the wagon sort of lurches to one side.
I knock on the little sliding thing that leads to our coachman, and I say, "What's the holdup? Or what's the issue?"
Um, Bates has jumped off the front. He says, "It appears we've hit a rut, my lord. May have broken a wheel."
My God. I instruct Michelle to stay in the wagon, and I hop out and go inspect the
Let the
broken
men
wheel.
take care of this.
No, I am just trying not to attract attention, and her on the side of the road trying to struggle with the wagon would attract attention.
Mm-hmm.
This is very strategic.
Okay.
So I go over. Look at what's the problem, Bates? Let's get this figured out.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that the front left wheel is stuck in a pothole. Bates complains about the roads aren't what they used to be.
Well,
And I have a spare wheel in the back, he says.
excellent. I shall keep a lookout while you do this.
Okay.
And
So
I lean against the other door. Do we drive on the right side or the left side of the road here? Or just down the middle of the road?
there's not really a right of way. Yeah.
But so on a road, would you have a single set of wagon tracks, or would there be side by side sets of wagon tracks?
Right here, there's really only room for one wagon.
Okay.
So far, you haven't come across anyone heading the other direction that you imagine that if you did, the riders would have to coordinate something.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So then I guess
it would
if I'm
cause
sitting in the middle of the road, I'll just lean against whatever door Michelle is sitting by, and kind of just keep looking both ways and idly chatting with her while he fixes it. I make sure not to discuss anything of too great importance.
Okay. Yeah. So he pulls a spare wheel out from underneath the back of the wagon and just like jimmy the wagon up and starts replacing it. At this point, it's sort of late afternoon and the sun is sort of getting low in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of people traveling on foot walk past you.
From what direction?
Coming from the north.
Okay. I give them a polite nod, and if they say anything,
Looks like you got some trouble.
Yeah, broken wagon wheel, but
It's
my man's
older
fixing
man
it.
and a younger man. Like an older man and like a child. Child.
My man is fixing it. Should be no problem. You're quite a ways away from town for how late this is. You gonna sleep outside tonight? I say to them.
Yep. It's probably it'll take at least another day or two to walk to next town.
Yep. Well, fare thee well, travelers.
We wave and continue walking.
Okay, I keep
Slowly
an eye on
gonna
them
be
as they
pace.
disappear. I keep an eye on them for a little bit. Like I keep, looking back north occasionally, but I make sure that they are actually leaving us and they're not, going off and hiding in the woods and coming around to circle back and kill us.
Paranoid much?
Yeah.
Nope. They pass you, and you see them cross the bridge a little ways down.
Okay.
Michelle gets out to stretch your legs.
Okay.
You make any movement to stop her or anything like that?
No. It's taking a little while. She gets out, stretches her
Yeah,
legs.
it's been about an hour or so. Bates looks like he's making progress, but
Bates is so slow. I do let Bates know I will pay for the wagon wheel to be replaced. Like, you know.
Oh, really? That's not necessary, my lord. I'm sorry
Okay,
for the inconvenience.
cool.
Okay.
Qualneer's not the type of guy to insist on paying for anything.
Um. All right. So Michelle starts wandering off towards the lake.
Hmm. Um, start walking with her.
Okay.
I'm very worried about her. I don't really trust her yet. I feel like she
All right.
could easily betray me.
Are you at full life, by the way?
I am down 4 hit points. Well, I guess we did sleep for a day.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was trying to calculate.
Yeah. I was down by 4 when we started. I'm now down by 3. That means I'm at 11.
Okay. Yeah. So she walks down towards the water's edge
Hmm.
and takes off her shoes and dips them in.
Okay.
You imagine it
I
must be godly cold.
I keep an eye out in all directions, and including across the water occasionally. You know, I keep an eye out on the road, north and south. Then I'll check out the ocean, the lake line and the water line. Make sure no sea monsters come out or lake monsters.
Roll a perception check for me.
I'm a little worried right now. 25.
Okay. Nothing now, actually, but I'll keep that in mind. You're feeling very alert right now. Bates just sort of call Master, sort of waves you over.
I I start jogging over, and occasionally looking back to keep an eye on Michelle. Something's wrong here. I can feel it in my bones.
Why? Because this is D&D and your DM made mention of it.
Just the two riders and my wagon wheels breaking, and Bates' a sketchy guy to begin with. I don't trust Bates in the slightest. No man is this polite. There's something fucking wrong with Bates. I go over and look at. Yes, what's the issue?
He sort of stands up as he's like screwing in the new wheel. He says, "I'm just about done, but as you can see, it's nearly dark. What would you have us do
Well, we should continue on the road for as long as we can.
through the
Do you
night?
think
my
we can
lord?
make it to the next town by night?
In another couple hours, it'll be dark.
Oh, unless you have problems driving at night, I say we continue on through the evening.
Fair enough, my lord. I'll finish this up in a jiffy." And he
It's
kneels down.
about time, and I go back to the lake.
And right about this time, you hear a ah!
I run to the lake, which is I assume that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, you turn to see Michelle running barefoot at you as fast as she can.
I grab 3 darts from my wherever they are on my person, inside of my cloak, I guess.
Yeah, and behind her, you see the dark outline of the shape of a creature sort of running quite quickly out of the lake, splashing as it moves. Looks almost like a large hound. But it's sort of hard to get a look at it in the twilight.
I unleash my darts.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our first break.
All right, cool. You bastard. You know how to really give it to him. Okay. We'll see you guys in a few minutes then, when Qualneer kills this lake hound, or not. See you then.